Frustrated. Seth Rollins frustrated as Becky Lynch chose CM Punk over him. Signs waved in every direction, fans chanted their favorite superstars' names, and the commentary team teased an unexpected development involving three of the biggest names in the company: Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and CM Punk. Rumors had been swirling for weeks about tension behind the scenes. Social media had been ablaze with speculation that Becky Lynch, the man herself, was growing closer to Punk after his shocking WWE return. And now, for the first time, Seth Rollins would address the situation live. The show began with typical WWE fireworks, but the crowd's energy spiked when Seth Rollins' entrance theme hit. The haunting opening notes of "Visionary" filled the arena as the fans erupted into a chorus of singing and clapping. Rollins emerged wearing a glittering black and gold jacket, his trademark grin noticeably absent. His eyes were cold, his jaw set. Instead of his usual swagger, he walked with a sharp, almost impatient stride toward the ring. "Ladies and gentlemen," the ring announcer declared, "please welcome the visionary, the revolutionary, Seth freakin' Rollins." The crowd tried to start their signature sing-along, but Rollins didn't encourage it. He climbed the steel steps, entered the ring, and snatched a microphone. The lights reflected off his jacket as he paced back and forth like a caged animal. The tension in the building was palpable. "Normally," Rollins began, his voice tight, "this is the part where I come out here and dance, laugh, and let you all sing my song. But tonight is different." He paused, his piercing eyes scanning the crowd. "Tonight, I'm not here to entertain. I'm here because I'm frustrated. I'm angry, and I've got something to get off my chest." The crowd quieted. Rollins continued, his tone growing sharper. "For weeks, I've heard the rumors. I've seen the tweets, the videos, the whispers. Everyone keeps asking me the same question. Seth, what's going on with Becky and Punk?" He sneered as the crowd reacted with a mix of cheers and boos at CM Punk's name. "Well, guess what? I've been asking myself the same damn question." He stopped pacing and glared into the hard camera. "Becky Lynch, my wife, the mother of my child, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, has been spending a lot of time with CM Punk. And I know what you're all thinking. It's just business. They're just talking strategy. It's all professional." That's what I told myself. Over and over. But week after week, I see the way she looks at him. I hear the way he talks about her. And I'm done pretending it doesn't bother me. The crowd erupted with a mixture of gasps and sympathetic chants of, "Seth. Seth. Seth." Rollins gripped the microphone tighter. "CM Punk. Phil Brooks, whatever you want to call yourself, you've made a career out of sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. You came back to WWE claiming you wanted to finish your story, but all you've done is insert yourself into mine." Rollins' voice cracked with emotion. "Becky, you chose him. Maybe not with words, but with your actions. I see it every time you two share a ring. Every time you talk backstage. You've chosen Punk over me, and I can't stand it anymore." The crowd buzzed with shock. Suddenly, Becky Lynch's music hit. The arena exploded in cheers as the man strode onto the stage wearing a leather jacket and her signature smirk. But her eyes betrayed a hint of unease. Microphone in hand, she walked with determination down the ramp and climbed into the ring. The tension between the two was palpable. "Seth," Becky began, her Irish accent cutting through the noise, "you need to calm down. You're making this into something it's not." "Something it's not," Rollins shot back, stepping closer. "Becky, I see the way you act around him. I hear the things you say. Don't stand there and tell me it's nothing." Becky held her ground. "Punk and I are friends. That's it. We've been planning some business moves, working on ideas for the division, trying to make WWE better. You know this business better than anyone, it's all about alliances. Friends." Rollins spat the word like poison. "Friends don't meet in secret. Friends don't whisper in corners. Friends don't make each other feel like they don't matter." The crowd gasped at the raw emotion in his voice. Becky took a step closer, her eyes softening. "Seth, you matter to me. You're my partner, in life and in this ring. But I can't stop working with people just because you don't like them. Punk is good for business." Before Rollins could respond, CM Punk's music hit. The arena erupted with one of the loudest reactions of the night. The straight-edge superstar emerged from the curtain, wearing a black hoodie and a sly grin. He paused at the top of the ramp, soaking in the deafening mix of cheers and boos before striding confidently toward the ring. Punk climbed through the ropes and grabbed a microphone. "Well, isn't this cozy?" he said with a smirk. Seth Rollins, the visionary, the revolutionary, reduced to jealous husband. "I've gotta say, it's not a good look." Rollins lunged forward, but Becky quickly stepped between the two men. "Don't," she warned, her eyes darting between them. Punk continued, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "You know, Seth, maybe instead of worrying about Becky and me, you should worry about your own career. I mean, when's the last time you held a major championship? When's the last time you actually mattered? Becky and I, we're out here making moves, making headlines. Meanwhile, you're just singing your little song." The crowd erupted with oohs as Rollins' face twisted with rage. "You think this is funny, Punk? You think you can come back here after 7 years, steal my spotlight, and mess with my family?" Punk smirked. "I don't have to steal anything. Maybe Becky just prefers being around winners." The arena exploded as Rollins' anger boiled over. He dropped the microphone and tackled Punk to the mat. The two men exchanged wild punches as Becky screamed for them to stop. Referees and security rushed the ring, pulling the superstars apart. The crowd chanted, "Let them fight." As chaos reigned, Rollins broke free and lunged at Punk again, but was restrained by 3 officials. Punk, laughing despite a cut above his eyebrow, taunted Rollins from across the ring. "You can't beat me, Seth. You never could." Becky grabbed a microphone, her voice rising above the chaos. "Enough. Both of you, stop this right now." But neither man listened. Rollins broke free once more, landing a vicious kick to Punk's midsection before being dragged away again. Backstage, cameras followed the aftermath. Rollins stormed through the corridors, his face a mask of fury. Interviewer Kathy Kelly tried to get a word, but Rollins shoved past, muttering, "This isn't over." Not by a long shot. Later in the show, Becky was interviewed about the situation. She looked torn, her usual confidence replaced with visible stress. "I didn't expect things to explode like this," she admitted. "I respect both men, but Seth needs to trust me. Punk and I are working on something bigger than personal drama. But if Seth wants a fight, I know Punk won't back down." The following weeks of WWE programming were dominated by the love triangle storyline. Rollins cut promos dripping with resentment, calling Punk a parasite and accusing Becky of betrayal. Punk, ever the provocateur, leaned into the controversy, mocking Rollins on social media and during live shows. Becky tried to maintain her focus on competition, but her every move was scrutinized by fans and commentators alike. On one episode of Raw, Rollins confronted Becky backstage. "I can't do this anymore," he said, his voice cracking. "Every time I see you with him, it feels like you're slipping away." Becky looked at him with a mixture of love and frustration. "I'm not going anywhere, Seth. But I can't stop working with Punk just to make you feel better. You have to trust me." Rollins clenched his fists, his eyes filled with conflict. "I want to trust you. But every time I see his face, I can't." Their tense exchange was interrupted when Punk appeared, casually leaning against